yeah. Hi, how are y'all made my camera so low? Why are you so short?
Sorry.
And I read or would hydrate. Yay, crack Donald's. Burrow says hi, Vax.
Hi.
Hi. Vax is gonna be leaving here shortly because she has to go and prep in order to run the dummies stuff tonight. So she's gonna be dipping out to go and get ready for that.
You.
Son also says hi.
Hi.
But hi, Son. Hi, Reed. Skits, thanks for the follow. Glad you're here.
You need
Totally.
one more?
What?
I said you need one more.
Need one more.
Uno más.
Uno más. And then we have the 50 followers goal for the push to affiliate, and then it's just on me after that. I just got to finish doing the thing. Got to keep doing the thing to finish the other goals required of affiliate, which, like, so long as this whole stream challenge thing, I don't fail it, then it'll be like that side of stuff will be done before the week's over, because I just got to stream 7 days in a month and a total of 8 hours, and I'm at like 6.5 hours or something like that already right now, and this is day 4. So as long as I finish the week, that's 7 days right there, and I average an hour and a half ish or so per stream. So between now and day 7, we'll also finish that 8 hour. So as long as we get one more follower, we got the thing. Yeah. Also, peep the unburdened raccoon suit over there. Just kind of just chilling. But Sam wants a medical fact. I don't have those prepped today, so
you saved a website.
You saved a website. That's cool. I'm gonna pull something out of my brain that I learned in surgery today. I learned that your subclavian artery that goes, it comes up off of a branch of your aorta, and then it goes underneath your clavicle, which is why it's the subclavian artery, because it's below. But that routes down into your brachial plexus and whatnot through your arm, right? And does stuff. I found out that at the junction where the subclavian artery branches off, becoming your brachial artery and like the brachial plexus and that whole like stream of vessels that break off into like 6 different places, one of those, doesn't matter which one, but one of those you can actually make a graft out of, and you can just spin it right back around if you're not getting enough blood flow to actually go back down through the rest of your body after it travels through the arm. Because that was one of the surgeries that I did today. Because I was in vascular today. Yeah, first day in vascular, and I got to see somebody's arm basically tore apart to do a auto bypass graft. It was kind of wild.
Damn, dog, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was also the most amount of sutures I've ever used in a single surgery so far. Total count for today was 26 for that surgery. The most I've had prior to this was 8. So that was a big difference, especially because part of my job is keeping track of every single one of them fuckers. And in vascular surgery, they're really, really fucking small. Like, we used a 709 nylon suture on a PS1 needle, which is about 4 millimeters long, and it has a real sharp U-curve on it, and it is real hard to see. And 7.0 is like 0.0000, like 7 zeros, 1 diameter for the thread. It real tiny. Yeah, real small. I had to use, like, the suture itself was blue, so I actually had to pull up one of our white laps, a clean lap, just to even see it in my hand, because I also had blue gloves on because it was a latex allergy case and all of our non-latex gloves are blue. So it's like, find the blue suture on a blue towel table with blue gloves on, and it's about this fucking big.
Tell me is you were blue.
Yep. And this was also the scrub cap that I wore today too, so just all of the blue everywhere. I'm blue, rubber, wee, rubber, but anyways, Vex, go do the thing. It's 7:30. Go get ready. I can't raid the dummies for Tephra tonight if you're not gonna go and start the Tephra. Okay, great. You're amazing. We all love you. You're fantastic. Go do your job. I hope you realize it's probably gonna get clipped.
Miss Rabbit has fainted.
Just Rabbit has fainted again. Vex is just doing Vex stuff. It's fine. Oh, put them feet away. Damn it. I'm gonna throw my empty McDonald's bag at you.
You're not supposed to throw your baggage around like that.
Oh, you don't want to help me unpack it? Ben says he'll give you a big hug if you go do the thing. Why are you throwing shit at me? What the fuck is it? How have the turntables? You're so tired? You're so eepy? You got stuff to do. I mean, I can text Jasher right now and be like, hey, Tephra's canceled. You can just hang out back there and do a thing.
After all of the communication about Tephra tonight anyways.
Yup. All of the big communication about Tephra tonight. That was funny to witness.
It was so dumb.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I get to hide in the background of a lot of dummies chat stuff because they thought it wise to add me into a group chat that the majority of them are in, that they use on a fairly decent basis. And even outside of that, like, we hang out all the fucking time.
This is literally, the Snapchat group is the dummies' primary source of communication.
Yep.
You could have used Discord like professional streamers. We don't.
No.
But everybody, Cody's not going to be in the game tonight because him and Morgan finally got a place together. So like, send Cody all of the congrats.
Yeah, they did the thing. They did the big I'm moving in with yous.
It's a really nice place, too.
It's adorable. They looked so happy in that snap.
Yeah, because Cody's not living in an apartment built out of the 1970s.
I take offense to that. My house was built in 1958.
Yeah, but yours doesn't look like it with all the appliances.
That's
fair. I lied. It definitely does. But like,
I mean, the furnace is as old as me. It's the next thing that needs to be replaced. Yeah. The water heater after that, because that was like 2005. Yeah. Hair tie. Which one? I got like 7 up here.
Any of them.
Any? Just hair tie. Hair tie doing hair tie stuff.
Hair tie.
Building I live in is 100+ years old. Jesus, my house was built in 1889. Oh my god.
That sounds like it came from somebody who lives in New England.
That was 2 different people. Stealth was 1889. Son was 100+ years old.
Well, sons make sense.
Yeah.
New England can't do anything new. Anyways.
Yeah.
I'm talking shit.
It's okay. We love talking shit. Talking shit is one of our primary modes of communication. Big girl can't do big girl stuff.
My legs hurt.
You ran half of a suicide.
To be fair, I ran more than that before you got there because somebody wanted to fight me and he's like, I can't do this. Mom, you're too hard. So I ran 2 of them with him.
Gotcha. As he was starting number 3 when I got there.
Yeah. So
like a half hour later.
1.5, but like.
Jesus.
I don't
New England is the reason we are our own country. Yeah, that's just proof of how fucking old it is, bud. Why they can't do anything new. They did a new thing once, made a new country, and said, nope, that's enough, we done. They found it in from there.
New England is that kid that's like, my name's on the paper?
Yep.
My fucking nuggets.
But what if I wanted nuggies?
You had the chance to steal the nuggets out of the bag.
That is true. I had all of the chance to steal the nuggets out of the bag.
Love you.
Okay, love you. Bye. Have fun with stream tonight. You're gonna do so good.
I'm so tired. I'm appalled.
You're gonna do so good. New England is the overrated West Coast. That's fair. That's so fair. Breed's just like West Coast, best coast. I don't know about that one, man. That's That's a little iffy. Anyways, let's actually get into some gaming stuff now that distraction's gone, right? Biggest distraction ever. But we gonna build a base. Son, fuck the West Coast. It's not that aggressive, but like, I've never been to the West Coast. I can't really talk shit, but like, I also haven't felt the need to leave the East Coast yet. So apparently, the East Coast is doing something right. Gotta be. Otherwise, I would have been like, nah, flip this and got the fuck out by now. I don't remember if it's morning or nighttime. But we just gonna get more logs anyways and call it good. We'll deal with that after. I barely left the Gulf Coast. That's a mood because I've barely left the Midwest. So, which is funny because like I'm East Coast, but like Midwest. Because yes, yeah, Midwest, not exactly East Coast, but like compared to the West Coast, I'm East Coast. Like I'm not far off. I need to drive for like 6 hours and I'll be on the East Coast shoreline. Like it's not hard to do. It's like I'm 4 hours from New York. Cutting through the Canadian border, that is. But it's like I've been all up and down the East Coast a bit. About 6 hours from New York City. Let's go. Yeah, it's like I've been up and down quite a bit of the East Coast in terms of traveling. Haven't stayed in all of the places along the coast. But like I've been to DC, been to Florida, went to Tennessee, and I drove to Florida multiple times, so it's like I've driven through everything on the East Coast to get there. So I've seen some stuff, haven't stayed to experience and do the things, but I've seen some things. I'm an hour from freezing my toes off on the Oregon coast. Woof. Three hours from upstate New York. Ooh. You're welcome to come visit. I mean, that's not far of a trip by my standard. But there's people that I travel with, Vex not included, that would consider that a long trip. But I'm also the crazy person that is just like, hey, I got 2 days off. Let's take a day trip to Canada to go to Toronto and Niagara Falls, which is from where I live to Niagara Falls is like 7-ish hours. And then Niagara Falls to Toronto is like another like 2.5-ish, 2.5 to 3 around there. So it's like, it's 10-hour drive just to get like to both places. And then another like 6 hours back from Toronto. So it's like, you're spending more than half the day just driving to make that day trip. But I've done it multiple times because I don't think it's that bad. Everybody else that I've traveled with so far thinks it's that bad. So with that in mind, what do y'all consider a long trip? Since you got the basis of what my consideration is. That's not where I wanted you to go. Also not where I wanted you to go. Go on the edge. Thank you. Didn't think it was that flipping hard. Three hours from Quebec. Fishing's better in Quebec. I would just like to let Raven know I was a strong, independent woman, got my own door when I left. Next time I'm getting up out my chair, leaving the stream just as it is, looking at my fancy medical posters. Just saying. Cookie and nuggets? Fuck yeah. I feel like that is always going to be a yes type of answer. I feel as though I may not have fully thought about my door placement for this place. But that's fine. We can revisit that later. Because we can do smelter there, crafter there. Or no, we'll do crafter here. We need a little bit more space for crafter. And then we can put smelter over there. And we can put new doorway right here. That will work just fine. Long trip for me is 8 to 10 hours. Sun says it's about 15. Stealth says 12 hours is long trip. If I had a way to send you cookies, I would. So y'all agree though that like double-digit hours is like the minimum to call it a long trip though, right? Like, is that the consensus I'm getting here? Because that feels fair. I'm aware that I'm probably a little psycho when it comes to this topic, because like I'm trying to make a living out of being. Why everybody else was yelling at me the whole time and was just like, hey, you need to stop and sleep and get a hotel or a motel or something. I'm like, no, I don't. I can very much just sleep in my vehicle. It's fine. It's comfy. I feel safe and secure in my vehicle. More so than stopping at some $20 a night motel on the side of the freeway. Because who knows what goes on in places like that. I know what goes on in my truck because I'm the one that does it. We would drive from San Jose, from the middle of Oregon, to visit family for Christmas and Thanksgiving when I was growing up. And that's about 10 to 11 hour drive if you do it in one shot. And see, that feels normal-ish for me. In terms of like, hey, I'm road tripping. That feels right. But like, I've had people that I'm no longer acquaintances with that were like, hey, anything over 4 hours is too long. And I'm like, we can't even get out of this state in 4 hours from where we live, depending on the path that we take. Like, we can if we go one direct route straight south. But other than that, any other way out of this state, if you want to go any place else other than straight fucking south, is more than 4 hours. And it's like, I want to go and see stuff and not just be stuck in this place the whole time. I want to see things and do things that can't be done here. That's not where I wanted you to be. Blop, 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 blop. Bloop. I'm going to a Renaissance fair that was 3 hours each way. See, that's fair. I've done similar because my state's Ren Fair is also roughly 3 hours away from where I live. It's like a little over 2. But all of the like good places to stay, like if you stay for the whole weekend type of ordeal, all the places to stay are further south from me than where Ren Fair is. So you have to drive past where the actual Ren Fair festival is at and then turn around and come back, which is so worth it. I agree with kids. 6+ feels long. That depends on the kid. My kid is an angel for car rides. She loves them. They're amazing. She will just sit there and twiddle her thumbs or play with her tablet or just stare out the window. And she is happy. And it's so nice. My wife and I got essentially a free night in a hotel room because we slept in it only for like 4 hours, then got back on the road. I mean, that's fair. I like when there's places that actually do that. There was one hotel that I did stay in once. I had a hockey tournament in like way up north Michigan, up in the UP. And it was like 12-ish hours drive, somewhere around there. And like it's a hockey tournament, so it's like we're staying the weekend, so we're staying in a hotel anyways. And the rink actually lost power the day of the finals, which we placed for. We were in the finals, and the rink lost power, so it got bumped to the next day to actually finish the tournament. But we didn't have our hotel booked for that long because it was supposed to finish on Sunday. Like, it was a weekend tournament. We weren't supposed to be there until Monday. But the hotel was actually really nice about it. They're like, hey, like, this isn't something that was on you. It's not like you could have prevented it from happening, because it's not like you're the electrician that manages the place and whatnot. So they let our whole team stay another night completely free, because they still had the rooms available anyways. And we were like, hell yeah. So we got a free night stay at a hotel as a bunch of teenagers. It was great. We were also really nice about it, and we cleaned up the place afterwards, because, like, be nice to your custodial staff. They work hard, and they get shit on a lot, and it's not fair. Dude, my kid gets impatient in the McDonald's drive-thru. Road trips are the worst with Bean. I mean, I can see that happening. Don't get me wrong. Love the boy to death. He is an amazing dude. But I'm not looking forward to when we eventually do actually have a bigger road trip like that. So he wants to pee every 20 minutes? No, that's Wingle. That is the Wingle. Very much the Wingle. Wingle has walnut bladder. This needs to turn like that to look pretty. Make it look like it's got supports. And it's not just thriving on hopes and dreams. Because I don't want to put a whole ash hole right here. So we just gonna make it look like it's got supports. That's not the right placement. You need to be underneath. There we go. Who says I couldn't be an architect? Look at that. It's so pretty. I do so good. I will put a pole right here, though, because these are stairs. Stairs get pole. And then we go bloop. We will re-secure the ground. Bloop. I would run out of wood. I can't put a pole right here. It's right in front of the doorway. Stupid. Okay, that's fine. So we go bloop. We gonna section this area off. Make that look pretty. Of course, I still run out of wood anyways, though. That is 100% wiggle. I know, right? I don't like that those stick up like that. Especially because you can actually bump them. That's the dumb. Do these ones stick up? They do stick up. That's why. I don't like that. You don't look pretty when you do that. Why you gotta be rude? How much wood do I got? 2, because all the rest is beneath me. Like, that one's okay because it's on the edge. But all the rest were, like, showing up in the middle. And it didn't look good. From the number of Pete Drake's on birthday stream, that seems like facts. Woof. I can handle at least 2 to 4 hours between. That's fair. I don't know if I just have super bladder or something, but, like, my trip to Florida, that 19.5-hour drive, outside of the 2 hours I stopped to sleep, where I also used the restroom then, I only took 2 other stops, which were when I needed to get gas, and I went to the bathroom at that time as well, when I stopped for gas anyways. There's your hydrate, Oreo. Thank you for keeping me well quenched. I can go all day without using the bathroom. I mean, I probably could too. I admittedly have not tried, but I don't see why I wouldn't be able to. I know yesterday, for example, I had that really long neurosurgery, and I lasted through that entire procedure just fine. I put this here, will it mess with the stairs and not let me travel up them seamlessly? It will not. Let's go. Hell yeah. But we're gonna put that there. That can go bye-bye. We're gonna put that there because we're gonna support these stairs. Let's go. So chest bladder, yeah. See, I feel like I would struggle more with not having to go to the bathroom if I was in a kitchen and like hearing running water and whatnot, as compared to that of like me in the operating room, because like you don't hear the running water and whatnot in an operating room. But I feel like if I was in a kitchen hearing it, I would fail. I'd be like, nope, I gotta use the potty. Gotta go. Can't do it. Alright, time to relocate some stuff. We're gonna finish fleshing out this side, hopefully, before it gets too dark. And I can't see nothing anyways. Station needs a roof. You need to lick my tank. What the shit? I just wanted to fix my hammer. Is that too much to ask? Correct answer to that question is yes. Okay, so roof. Big roofing. Need to plan this out. 12 hours in the industry. Now, in the kitchen, I can go 6 to 8 hours without bathroom. Longest I've gone is 14. Nice. Longest I've gone was probably 18 hours. How do I want to do this roof, though? Because, like, that's going to be patio out there. So, should I do A-frame from front with the patio to the back? Or should I do it side to side? From left to right. At work, I generally only take 3 bathroom breaks if I go. That's fair. I usually take only 1, and it depends on the day and how we rotate through stuff. If I get a break in the morning before my surgery day starts, I'll take my morning poop then. If I don't get a break in the morning before surgery starts, like if I'm with one of our early start surgeons that start at 7 a.m. or earlier, then I don't. Because I get there at 6:30, and for me to get scrubbed in and get the room set up and everything to actually start the procedure takes roughly that half hour, depending on the procedure. Most commonly it is closer to that half hour. So if we're starting at 7, I don't have time to take a morning break and have my morning poo. Gotta just go and do the thing and set up the case and start going. So otherwise, I will just survive through the night and do the thing. Or through the day. I survived through the night in here because I built a micro roof and slept. The things that normally have to make people have to go don't affect me. Well, lucky you, son. They generally don't affect me super commonly. But, like, if I have to go and I know I have to go and I'm just trying to ignore it, running water will get me then. That is the only time that it actually affects me, though. Like, outside of that, if I don't have to go, I'll be fine. That used to be a burden back when I worked in sterile processing before I moved up into the OR recently. Because in sterile processing back in decontam, it's nothing but running water the whole day. You're sitting there with a sprayer spraying off all of the debris from the instrumentation before it goes into the sonics and everything. So it gets difficult when you're like, ooh, I gotta go. And then you're sitting there dealing with running water, especially because in SPD, you had scheduled breaks. In surgery, with me being an extern right now, I get breaks in between surgeries because I have to be there for the whole thing for them to count towards my scrub record, as well as to actually learn the stuff because I can't learn the case and what's going on if I'm not in the room to do it. So I don't get breaks during surgery. When everybody that is an actual scrub tech that's not in training / orientation like what I am, they swap out for each other. There's actually techs that are scheduled to be, we call it scheduled to the hall, which is essentially you work the hall, you help change over rooms and in between procedures, and you give breaks to everybody as they're operating. So you'll give breaks to other techs that are in rooms. You'll swap out with them mid-surgery for them to go have their break, and then they come back and relieve you so that you go back to the hall or jump to a different room or whatever the situation may be, depending on what's going on and who's where. But I don't get that privilege currently. I have to be there for the whole case if I want to learn the thing and have it count for my scrubs so that I can actually be officially hired when I get my final certification in another couple months. Because training is weird. That's why, like yesterday, because I had that 6 hour, like the surgery took 6 hours open to close roughly. But my job before the surgery started and everything I had to do after the surgery ended, in terms of like my learning and everything, took over 7 hours. So that was a whole 7 hours, no breaks. Which like isn't a big deal. I feel like a lot of us have done stuff like that before. But like that compared to what it was like for me when I was in sterile processing before this, where it's like, hey, you work 2.5 hours, you get a 15-minute break. You work another 2.5 hours, you get a half-hour lunch. You work another 2.5 hours, get another 15-minute break. Work 2.5 hours and go home. So it's like you always had a break and never spent that long just consistently on your feet and doing the thing. So it's different. It's not bad, and I can handle it. It's just different. No. You need to be on the edge. That's why I even put a different beam for you to sit on. Trying to make you look pretty. I think that's what we're gonna do. Maybe. Yes. We're gonna do the side-to-side roof instead of the front to back. We're gonna go with that. It sounds like a good idea. So over here, we can go ahead and do the blop and a bloop. And you're not gonna let me do it. Nope, you let me do it. Let's go. And then you over here get a bloop with another bloop and more blooping. Alright, but then we need this, and we're gonna go bloop. That's gonna look funky, but we'll figure it out. Fill this in. Like so. Like that connects right there, which is all fine and dandy, but like we got that gap. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with that gap. Will it look okay? Just nope, there's still a gap there doing that. Awesome. So we are gonna do half wall, half wall. Don't know how I feel about this. We're gonna figure it out though. Oh, so lost my voice there. Wow. I was gonna need to search for more food here in a moment because that's my last mushroom. Tell us a medical fact. All right. Again, pulling these out of my brainwaves. What's a good one? What have I learned recently? Because I'm going to start using this as a study tool. What have I learned recently that I can share with y'all? Oh, did you know? So this is going back to the super tiny suture from earlier with that surgery. Did y'all know that when you're dealing with super tiny suture, especially with bloody hands, your hands get very sticky? And so you'll have your scrub tech, aka me, squirt your fingers with some form of either saline or heparin or some other liquid that's not sticky in order to be able to tie your sutures. That was wild to me. I never thought about the complications that come with like operating and what might lead to what in order to actually do the thing, especially when you're dealing with super tiny, super fine suture material. But yeah, I had to, like, from a distance with an angio catheter, had to spray saline onto the surgeon's hands, staying sterile and not to like spray him in the face or anything, only get the hands so that he could tie the suture. I was just like, this is weird. And I feel a little like, I feel like I'm being offensive, but at the same time, the surgeon literally asked for it, like, hey, squirt me. But like, it feels like you're being rude. It's like, I grew up my whole life being told not to spray people with hoses and whatnot. And now I have a surgeon looking at me like, spray my fucking hands. What the fuck? You know? It's weird. It's a different type of existence. And I don't know how to feel about it. But that was the thing I learned today. Bleep bloop, bloop bloop blop. Okay, so that roof actually can't be right there, because that's gonna fuck with the smokestacks. And we don't want to fuck with the smokestacks because we are not trying to suffocate ourselves. That would be bad. So instead, we're gonna get over here to get closer to actually. No, I wanted to pick that up. You bitches! Alright. But we are going to build around the smokestack. Like that. Which means this one can go away. I literally just said we were trying to not suffocate ourselves. Homie, you need to listen. Alright. Actually, do you want to go one more higher or half wall higher from here? I don't know. Mitochondria's powerhouse of the cell. Technically, yes, it is. There are many things that are in the cell, but mitochondria is a powerhouse for sure. I don't want to listen. What are we listening to? Are we listening to how blood is sticky or something else? Why not both? Go a wall and a half high. I don't know if I can actually build that high. Like, you're looking at these pieces. They have their colors. Green is good and you can keep building. When it starts to turn yellow is when, like right there, how that one's orange. That means it's getting close to its limit. Like that one's red. Can't build any more on top of that. It's just gonna break. So like, I don't know if I actually have enough space with the support that I have for how high off the ground I am, considering this is already the second story, to actually do a whole house and a half. I was being a smartass while you're yelling at the game. That's fair. I'm also being smartass sometimes. I was almost a smartass in surgery today. I got a look because the preceptor that I was with today, I was actually friends with for a while. She worked with one of my old friends from high school, and we used to hang out. So like she knows me a little bit, and she saw the surgeon say something, and then saw the look in my eye with the response that I had queued and ready to go because of quick-wittedness. And she just shot me a look like, don't fucking say it. You say it, you will get kicked out. I was just like, well, shit. But apparently I can do a wall and a half higher. I don't know if I actually want to go that high. So that's real high, especially because I still have to build roof up and it's going to be slanted, so it's going to get higher anyways. So I think we're going to play it safe. And we're going to do half wall for second floor. Plus, this is cheaper on materials, so like, huzzah. Connect to the thing. And then, realistically, this part we could probably keep open because it's just going to be the inside of the house under the roof anyways. Plus then, well, no, we might take it up because more support. I don't know. We'll revisit that idea later. Well, right now, we're going to go back to roof building after I put on support beams. As I run out of wood again. I really need to clean up my inventory. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn that into storage over there after I place this. You're cheaper on materials. What does that even mean? That's not a good time to be a smart. It depends on the surgeon. There's three surgeons that we have. I've only worked with one of them so far. But there's 3 surgeons that we have that the more smart assy you are and like the more jokes and crude humor you have, the more they like you and want to keep you in their room. Because they themselves also sit there and make jokes like that all the time. Like there was the surgeon that I have worked with was in there with him and 2 other scrub techs. One was my preceptor, one was just there assisting because it was a bigger case and needed more hands. And the tech that was assisting has worked with this surgeon forever. Like they have a good rapport with each other and whatnot. And like there was one point where the tech made a comment about like his home life, and then surgeon immediately chimed in with, "Oh yeah, I bet that's a consistent problem you have, it ain't it? You know, I can write you a referral over to the ED department." And just like, what? I was at first taken aback by it, like, how are you gonna go and talk like that? But then like the tech just turned it right around and said something and like retorted back with, "Well, I haven't had any complaints from your wife yet, so there's that." I was just like, Jesus. So there's some surgeons you can get away with it. Didn't you learn that from FMA humans? Can be made on a child's allowance? Yup. That is a sad comment, but it's a true comment. Woof. Full Metal has scarred me and made me angry. It's a great story, and I'll watch it again and continue to be angered by it. But the trauma that has led to is wild. Anyways, now that I'm going to have to repair the entire second floor because it's raining, and rain degrades wood if it's not covered by a roof. I was hoping to get this done before it started raining. For the first time ever. Oh no. My hammer. He's broken. Snap into place. Thank you. I appreciate your assistance. Yeah, that was getting red until I put in some support beams to help. But that is part of the problem of what I will be dealing with. Like, hey, you're building too high without enough support. Connect. You aren't going to connect. Alright. Woof. That's going to be that. Because that's going to be the chimney flute right there. Where are y'all going to meet at, if at all? Is my question. You don't meet right there. No, that's not terrible. Not great, but it's not terrible. I can work with that. It's gonna be off-centered, but that's fine. That is a problem for not right now. Do you think Nina Tucker gets phantom pain from flea bites? Not Oro. / Oro. How dare. Yes. Yes, she does. Not gonna lie, I'm a little upset that I wasn't able to join in all of the watch party for the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because of change of work schedule and being the big EPs and not being able to stay up until midnight, 1 a.m. or later when my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. It was the big struggle, and I was sad about it because I was like, I want to watch this. It's going to piss me off. I'm going to get angry about it, but I want to watch it. That's plenty of sleep. I would agree if I wasn't actively trying to learn new things consistently. Because I am very much still learning a lot of what I'm doing as I'm doing it, I need a little more sleep than that in order to actually, like, remember the stuff that I'm learning and not just be going through the motions. Once I actually learn the things and, like, this is just routine because I've done it for so long, and, like, another 4-ish months or so, 4 hours of sleep will be plenty. Because it's routine and it's habit and I just know the things then. But right now while I'm learning them, I need more sleep than that. My brain can't function on consistent learning with only 4 hours of sleep. See, I was staying up that late and getting up at 6. And I'm proud of you for that. That's what I was doing as well before I started the new job and was learning. Because when I was still in sterile processing downstairs, before I went to the weekend shift, I would still be up for watch party until the 1, 2 in the morning time frame, even though I had to be at work at 7 a.m. So I had that 5-6 hour gap there. So, like, I can do it as long as I already know what I'm doing and it's routine. When I'm learning, that's where I'm just like, ooh, I'm the big EP. I need sleep. So in a few more months, when I'm done with training and I'm not learning as much new stuff, if anything new, and it becomes more routine, I can cut back on the sleep schedule then. And I know Vex changed watch party to Sunday Mondays now, which for me are also still work nights, but come that 4-month-ish time frame, so long as my schedule's still the same, which it probably will be, I'll get that confirmation later. But come that time frame, I'll actually be there for those. Won't be of all the Epins all the time. Oh, where can I put this? Let's toss it right there for the moment, just so I can see this corner. And this is gonna go right there for now. We'll toss another one over here just for fun, just to actually see this corner while it's dark out. And then we will run up these stairs and very quickly, just for the sake of having, actually we're gonna have to go outside for this. It is so dark I can't see nothing. We're gonna hop out here real quick, stay on to ladder. You know, go right there, because when you put the roof over the empty fire pit like that, it blocks the rain and then the fire comes back, and with the fire back I can actually sleep when I'm not wet. Right now. Don't worry, Raven, I have to miss watch party every Sunday now. Aww. Woof. That's so sad. Now you're missing Assassination Classroom. I know. I'm upset about it, especially because I'm like, the first episode, I was awake when y'all started that first Sunday, and like watching it, I was just like, that character looks familiar, as I was getting ready for bed. And Vex was just like, yeah, I don't know if we started watching this and just haven't finished it, or if I just showed you something about it, but this is such and such and whatnot. I was like, that looks so familiar, and I want to watch it now to know, like, if either A, we have in fact started watching it, or, and as well as just for the sake of seeing it. But I've been doing the EPs. Just get one of those texts to set you up with a Red Bull IV dripping while you're in the OR. I'm not sure if that works that way. I've never seen Assassination Classroom either. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of animes I haven't seen. Prior to this year, I had only seen Pokemon because it's technical anime. I feel like it doesn't get roped into the category of anime super often, but like it is. But I've seen Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Attack on Titan, and there was one other one. Or maybe there wasn't. I don't know. But there was only like 3 or 4 that I've seen prior to this year. And then this year happened, and now I've seen like 3 or 4 more. It'll be fine. Sugary drinks have to be sterile so they don't ferment on the shelf. I mean, that's a fair point in terms of the inside contents. It's the outside and touching the outside that we're more concerned with. Because that's where the contamination comes from. To be fair, my login for Crunchy is probably saved on your computer now. I don't know if it's actually saved. I could probably still find it, because whether it's saved in the computer or not, like on the site itself, Vex is logged in on Discord on here, and I just flip-flop the profiles if I'm using it versus her. So, and I know that you sent it to her on the Discords at one point, so I could just steal it from there. But that also requires having free time. Oh no, that one needs to be fixed, and that one, and those ones, and that one, and those ones. I'll get to that later. And this one, what the shit? It's a random ass square to need to be repaired down here. What the shit? Anyways. We has wood. We're going to build storage first. Hold on. I said I was going to build storage, and then I did not start building storage. So we're going to start building storage. We're going to throw some storage under the stairs. Being like Harry Pooper up in here. Make that look pretty. Make this look pretty. Doing the stuffs and the things. Make that go away for a moment. Put that there to help us build this right here. Make that go away to then do that. Bam. Bam. There we go. Bitches. Don't have enough. Okay. At least now, though, we can go boop boop. Toss in all the meat. And that one over here, we will toss in the resins. Feathers, bones, trophies. Here with the meat, we'll throw the pelts, fishy, and a rock, I guess, because random ass rock. Knowing Vex is probably safe, that's fair. It probably is, but who knows? Because that does sound like something she would do, so that she wouldn't have to look it up every time. And or try to just remember it. Alright. Lots of stuff to fix and repair, but that is a problem for later. Problem for the right meows. A, getting rid of this gray thing, because he's just going to be annoying and chase us for a minute. And B, getting more wood. Hey look, it's almost 8:30, which means it's almost Demi's time. I'm sure she had it saved on her. She did have it saved on hers on her machine back at her place. Have I watched The Norseman on Netflix? Yes. It's hilarious. It starts a little dry and slow, but it gets kind of funny. It's been a minute since I watched it, because I watched it early last year or 2 years ago now. But it's pretty good. It's like dudes hanging out pretending to be the chieftain while everybody else has gone raiding, his wife included, because he's too much of a pansy to go and raid. Got to get you some little blue potions for that wood rip. Listen! I don't need mana potions, because I'm not a caster. I'm a rogue, damn it. I transferred my opera history to Raven's computer, so it should be on there. Well, let's go. If/when I eventually have free time, I might actually watch more animes. But Vex and I already have a long enough watch list to begin with. I believe up next on our watch list after we finish Vikings Valhalla, which we are currently watching on Netflix. Up next was the Fallout series. And then we were going to go through and watch American Horror Story. Because, like, we watched the one season in Watch Party a while ago. And we were talking about it the other day. And we were just like, you know, we could just, like, watch the entire series. So that's what we're going to be spending our free time doing for feasibly the next few months, considering how little free time I have to actually sit down and watch stuff. Ha, fucking called it, right? I loved it too. I know. Like, Norseman is purely a comedy. Like, there's not a ton of, like, actual, like, Viking Norse history in it. Outside of, like, the given, like, hey, this is Norse pantheon and whatnot, like, reference to some of the gods. Just in terms of, like, their names. So, it by no means is a teaching tool. But it's comedic value and entertainment that it shined there. It was real good. I don't use Crunchy very much, so feel free to use it. Well, thank you, son. I need to watch the most recent season of Vikings Valhalla or of American Horror Story, or both. It's like if Vikings and Holy Grail had a baby that was raised by Rick and Morty. That's so fair. I don't like that those were words that got put together and made sense, but like that feels accurate. American Horror Story, yeah. Paige is here with 1% battery and use that 1% battery to request another fact. Let's go. I haven't watched Vikings at all. You should, it's good. Vikings is actually really good. It is on Netflix right now. Vikings originally aired on the History Channel and actually has a decent amount of historical facts, and it's both entertaining and informative. Vikings Valhalla is very apparently a Netflix rendition post the original Vikings that got aired on History Channel originally, and it's very much just Netflix trying to make money. It's still entertaining. It's still a good story. It is not nearly as historically accurate or as informative as what Vikings itself was, though. But I still would recommend watching both. They're still both very good. Anyways, that was your hydrate, which, thank you for that. I actually needed it. I was about to get a drink anyways. Damn it. Medical fact. We're going to talk about the labral repair that I was in on today. After I finished up with vascular and did a little bit in ortho to round out my day, because we got done in vascular at flipping 2 o'clock, which was wild. We were scheduled to be done at like 4:30, so the fact that we were done at 2 and like there were no complications all day was wild, and I'm not upset about it. Medical fact, shoulder stuff, labral repairs. So we did an arthroscopy on a shoulder to fix your labrum, part of your rotator cuff, specifically the back portion. You have 4 different muscles that go through the back of your shoulder, off your scapula, and round out through your rotator cuff into your bicep. The patient had a tear in their labrum, had to artificially replace the labrum with anchor sutures, which is wild to see. So anchor sutures is a lovely little bolt that has 4 suture threads in it, and you very literally put like it's an anchor. So it gets screwed into your bone. Specifically in this particular case, we did 4 different anchors. There were 2 that went into the scapula, and then 2 that went into the superior glenoid, so the top of where your humerus actually rotates in your shoulder. Epinephrine / adrenaline are literally on kidney in 2 different languages. Wild. So yeah, did the anchor sutures. Did 4 of them, 4 sets of 4 sutures, 16 different sutures. The amount of times that we bounced back and forth, anchoring all this stuff together and tying everything back in place. We took the labrum from behind the shoulder, because it tore and was just flapping over the scapula in the back, brought it back forward around, reformed the rotator cuff, anchored everything in, and then sutured all of the tissue together at the tear line, bringing the anterior and posterior labrum back together. And it was wild. The fact through that is that suture passers are considered atraumatic, meaning that they don't cause trauma to skin and tissues as they pass through the tissue, because they are passing the suture. It's wild. They are so minuscule of a piece that like the suture material itself that it passes through is more than 4 times as thick than what the suture passer itself is, which was wild to see today. Like, it is just like it's a similar size to that of the 7.0 Prolene sutures that we used in the vascular cases all morning. Like, it was so small of a thing, and it's just this tiny little attachment. And it was wild. Some of the technology that goes into surgery and how this stuff works flabbergasts me on a near daily basis. And I'm here for it. Bitches. Why are you breaking? I know why you're breaking, but like, stop it. Is this going to reach where I think it's going to reach? Nope, that's gonna be funky. Can this fit right there in that gap? gonna stay. Yep, called it. That is gonna have to be that on that gap. Okay. It's about to be a real funky roof, but we're gonna make it look. We're gonna make it work. It's gonna do the thing eventually. It's doing stuffs and things in places. Let's go ahead and build out some support so that stuff stops breaking down and I can actually finish this. So we'll start by going across everything first that's currently here. You having fun creeping? When isn't Vex creeping? That's so fair. That's so interesting to me. I think it's really cool. If y'all don't feel the same, that's fine. I understand. I'm a nerd that has weird things that I like, and I can live with that. That one has one, right? That one does have one. Of course, that one don't want to stay. Just why would it? Alright, anyways, I got as many of the horizontals. Let's start building some verticals. Because that will help. Right there, what we could do for additional support is actually build straight up if it wants to cooperate here, like that. And that should give us capability to do this. There we go. Doing stuffs and things. I love biomed fields, right? What is your most like interesting part about biomed that you personally know? I would like to know what other people know. That will also help me discern what facts it is I should be sharing moving forward. Bitches, will you stop being rude? I'm trying to do a thing over here, and y'all are just like, nah, homie. We don't want you to do the thing over here. Building stuff and things in place. I suck at recalling things on demand, unfortunately. I feel that. That is me a decent majority of the time. Which is funny that I'm getting into a profession where I don't get to do that no more, and I need to remember all of the things always. Actually, I had a fun conversation about that today with my preceptor, where they're just like, yeah, like there's gonna be times where you haven't done a surgery for a while, but you're still gonna have to remember how to do the surgery because it's your job. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I'm gonna do it anyways, but like, I don't like that. And then they were telling me a story about something that they had experienced where they predominantly work in vascular, but they got pulled into an ortho room one day because we just didn't have the people that day. So it's just like, hey, you got to go into this ortho room and do the ortho stuff. And they hadn't done any ortho surgery in over a year. And then they had to go in and be the primary first scrub, the passer of the case, for a total hip and a total knee. And it's just like, there's a lot that goes into those. And they had to do all of the stuff, as they hadn't done any of the stuff in a minute. And then that was essentially their learning moment, like trial by fire, learn through failure kind of thing. Of like, hey, I didn't actively like try to keep any of this stuff in mind or like have any sort of recall on it and didn't truly commit anything to memory. It was just a, hey, I'm a vascular tech. My vascular surgeons like me. I'm going to be working in vascular and just let the information fall out of their brain. Thankfully, it wasn't a bad scenario. They got through the cases. Nothing bad happened to patient or anything. Everything was still good, but it's like, it was just an example of like, things can go bad. You need to still know the things. Always. So it's sounding like I'm going to have even more studying to do as life goes on. Because eventually I will just be hired and not be in training doing all of the things in all of the specialties. And then eventually I'll be hired and then only doing things in certain specialties because certain doctors will want to work with me more than others just because that's how people are. And then I gotta go and do the thing. Awesome, just making sure that you saw the dummies is live. I figured they were live by now considering it's after 8:30. I was going to give it a minute before actually jumping into the rig because I know they sit on their just starting screen for a minute. I wanted them to actually be like physically there and talking first. But this is a good spot to stop for the evening in terms of what I'm working on. So we'll chill over here, just hanging out for a moment. Oro says I need to hydrate again. They are up now. Okay. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and go and hang out with the dummies and do the stuff with the thems so I can go to sleep. Because Vascular kicked my butt today. I learned so much stuff and I don't have much brain left. But again, thank you all for hanging out and chilling with me for a little bit while I was here tonight. Y'all are amazing. We'll be back on tomorrow because we got so much longer to go on this stream challenge. We're gonna do the thing. So we'll be back tomorrow doing more Valheim tomorrow as well. I'm back in neuro tomorrow with a new surgeon. So a little bit of the big brain. And by that I mean probably a lot because I'm not super familiar with neuro yet. And I'm absolutely not familiar with the surgeon because I haven't worked with them ever. And the word on the street is that it is our most strict surgeon that we have in neuro. So it might be a day. It depends on what surgeries we got. So wish me luck. But let's go hang out with the dummies, watch them be amazing, and do all the fun things over there. I'm going to go to sleep in like 20 minutes. But y'all have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out. And we will talk again very soon. As soon as I figure out how to type, because oh my wow, this is a sign that I don't know how to do the things without a brain. Did I spell this right? It looks like I spelled this right. Unless it has to be the capitals, which it might need to be the capitals. Who knows? I'm going to throw in the capitals, and we're going to call it safe. But thank you for the good luck wishes. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.